Hello everyone, this is JoeHova. Welcome back. Today we're playing a game called Ostriv. This is a game similar to Banished. I'll put a link in the description. It's a humble bundle. That's where I got it. So we're going to just dive into this and play a new game and see where it goes. It's a city builder, basically. So just sit back and relax and let's enjoy the game. So we'll start a new game. We get a choice of 3 maps. I'm going to go with this guy. That's our starting area. So we'll go ahead and pick this one. And we start with tents. The snow is just starting to melt. So first thing, I'm going to pause this. So here's the deal. It's a nice looking map, right? Lots of water. Lots of fairly flat land. So everyone starts in tents. There are 9 of these to start with. A warehouse, excuse me, a warehouse and a like a town hall tent, like the chief or whatever. If you don't build houses for these people before the first winter, then they will all move out of your town, and that's going to be a bad deal. So what we want to start with are the basic menus. This is early development. You can see it's Alpha 1, patch number 8. A lot of these things are still in development and aren't in the game yet. But where we'll start, we're going to have wood. So let's go to our production. We'll get a forester, and we just want to put this near the forest, obviously. I don't want them having to cut a lot of trees to start, so I'm just going to place it like right here, right close to them. And then we're also going to want a guy to get reeds, so a thatch maker here. And we'll put this guy right down on the water, and we'll rotate him. I rotate using T and R. So I'm going to put him right on the water there as close as I can. There you go. So he'll be built. And we'll go ahead and get that started. So you got enough food to get through the first, into the second spring, or the first spring, so to speak. So what I'm going to do now is build some houses. And the way I'm going to do that, I'm actually going to put it right in here. So let's go ahead and do some houses. Now this is cool because it's not on a grid, so these first houses are going to be pointed over in this direction, and I'm going to kind of go over the top to make it, I mean there is no grid, but at least I can try to square everything up as much as possible. So you can kind of see a grid there, although there really isn't one. So I'm going to put these guys right here. Okay, and then once you place it down, you can see those little flags are down there. You can, and if I hold shift, I can build multiples. But basically, you want to try to square these up. I want to square these up as much as possible. I mean, you may want to do it however you want to do it, but... Okay, so I built 9 of these, and I'm going to go ahead and give them the order to build a well right here. And also a little market. And this is where they'll get their food and supplies and things like that. Right. And I'm not going to hire anybody for this, but this game has a lot of interesting aspects. One of them is you can tell it what kind of supplies, or how to bring the supplies, so workers can bring them by hand or by cart, or laborers can bring them. Also, you can say what kind of workers you want. I don't want men working at this. There's a lot of jobs that only men can do, and so with that in mind, I want to keep those jobs open to men. I don't want men taking jobs that women can do, so the women are just sitting around all day, not doing anything. So I'm not going to let men take that job, and I'm going to say I want to have potatoes and firewood to start with. So let's speed this up. So we have completed the lumber mill, and I'm going to hire 2 workers, right? And I'm going to say go ahead and make bark as well. Hiring options here, so you can't hire women for this job. Something else that's pretty cool up here, you can see where all of these buildings are being built. You can grab and move these things around. That's pretty sweet, so I'm going to say go ahead and build the well last, right? You can see I've now built my thatchery, and I'm going to go ahead and get a thatch worker. Again, this is only a man's job. This game takes place in the 1700s, so there were a lot of different gender rules back then. So the heavy labor jobs were done by men. So you can see that now I am in the process of building... Oh, crap. I forgot something very important. The clay pit. Now, fortunately, that's an instant build, but man, I could have really screwed that up. It takes a lot of clay to build these houses. That's pretty much what they build the walls and things out of, and chimneys and bricks and things like that. So, yeah, that was almost a huge mistake. So we'll let these guys start building some houses, and we'll see these people move in. You know, another thing while we wait here, you see up here at the top, we have a treasury. That's my money just dwindling down. And it's because I'm paying these workers. So you can see that all of the stores that I have, drinking water, wood, thatch, these are the things that I have in my inventory in the town. These are the number of people. You can see that I don't have a very good water supply, I don't have enough food for sale, and I don't have any housing available. I've got 7, 8 people looking for jobs, and they're all women at this point. So you can see we built our first house, and that means that one of these tents right there just pulled up stakes, and now they live in a house. And I can see that the father is 27, the mother is 26. He works at the camp center, so of course he's the mayor of the town. Of course he would get the first dibs, right? And it shows how much money he has. You can see that money slowly going up. And then these are the things that they store. So he has flour, potatoes, drinking water, and firewood. Now she's currently unemployed. But again, as we progress further, women will have more and more jobs open to them. That's why it's important to me to make sure not to allow men to do certain jobs that the women can do perfectly well. Now, if you pay attention up here, also we have the date, 1721. It's May, and as this bar progresses further and further down, that's the days of the month. And so by the time we reach December, this place is going to turn into snow. And when it does, these people are all going to move out. So I've got to make sure to get these houses built previous to that. But everything looks like it's going fairly well. My guys are working their butts off, getting some firewood and wood for these houses built. And my reed maker down here is making the hell out of some thatch. So I think we're going to be good to go. So once we get these houses up right here, the next thing we'll make is a smithy, so that we can have nails, because nails are very important. I think that's some iron out here, actually, which is pretty sweet. I haven't seen that just on the map before. As a matter of fact, can I grab that? No, doesn't look like it. Maybe it's just rocks. Be cool if it was iron. You can see my little tent city is dwindling away. Already got 5 houses up. It's only July. That's great news. There's my camp center. You can see I have 490 nails. So, got to get that smithy built pretty quick after these are done. And then I'll start into the farms, because food, I mean, once you get housing up, food is your number one priority. And so, once we get these houses built and get that smithy up, then we'll start worrying about farming. And I know I'm flying through this early section of the game. A lot of people have done early videos on this. I'm looking forward to getting to some of the later game aspects, which are really cool. And a lot of things get explained as we go along. So if you want me to do more of a tutorial on this, I'd be happy to do it. This is more of a playthrough, obviously. You know, the one thing that I still struggle with in this game is laborers. You can see if I go through here, I've got unemployed female, unemployed, right? So these people that are unemployed will take up labor jobs, but when they're not working, they're not making any money. And so you can see that the money is kind of dwindling down slowly. And it's so hard to balance keeping people unemployed so they can do labor and still, have enough money to buy food. The way this game works is, the mayor or the town or whatever owns everything. And so the goods that are produced go directly into the town coffers, and then the people that produce them have to buy them off of the town. And so with that being said, you're sitting there having to make money in order to spend money to buy the things that you need, right? And that's how the town makes money, is to sell back the things that the people produce to the people, and through trade. And we'll get to trade a little bit later. But keeping people, in money and in food while still maintaining a labor force has been proven to be a challenge. All right, so you can see we're on our last house now, so we can go ahead and get this smithy going on. Smithy right here. So I want these guys back here working, and it really seems not to matter where the building is versus where the people live, because they'll go all the way over across town to get somewhere. But I want to keep this smithy somewhere close anyway. I got to fight that urge. I do this every game where I put things right on top of each other. Screw that. I'm going to put the smithy, over here. I'm going to put it out here in the middle of nowhere. Just see what that does, because I always cram things on top of each other, and then I want to put houses in places, and I just can't because there's no more room. So I'm going to do that. So this last house is getting built, and we'll get our smithy going up, and then we'll get to some farming. All right, well, our first challenge has been completed. We were able to build all the houses before winter struck. Actually had some time to spare. And you see this last tent is going to be moving out into this house. We're getting our smithy built. So everything is going according to plan. Now we're going to build this well. We'll build our smithy. So I can go ahead and think about this farm. So here's the deal. Farms are challenged. See that little triangular piece there that sticks out? That's the entrance to the farm. That's where the people are going to go in and out. So I want to do this. I want to try to line it up as much as possible to give it some space. And actually, I'm going to move it in just a little bit because I'm going to put a cart thing there. So let's see here, because these are all Whoppy Dog because they're up on the hill. So I'm going to get him up on this hill a little bit more. Things do not have to be on top of each other. I got to remind myself of that. So, there's plenty of room on this map. So I'll pop that there. Right? And then I'll do a little cart thingamajiggy, cart parking. And this thing has an entrance as well. So I'm going to rotate that using, again, T and R. I'm going to try to get it as straight as possible without, getting too worked up about it. Just to make it look good. And I'll put it right, without getting too worked up about it. Remind me that I said that. All right, so we'll do that. And so now I've got this temporary cart thing here, and I can take these and drag them to this. And so now it'll take all those carts, and instead of returning them here, they'll return them over here. You can see there's only one left in that other one. And then I can delete that guy. So you see the smithy's being built now. So a laborer will go and grab that guy and bring him in. You see him go now, grab the cart, see, and it's gone. So now I can come over here and I can demolish this sweetness. And I can take away this fireplace and these logs here, because I don't want those people just sitting around in the old tent town. And I'll give them some new benches. So you can grab benches right here. Again, you want to hold down Shift to copy what you just are laying down. I'm going to rotate it. I'm just going to put it in these little gaps here. Just give people a place to chill. It's nice out here, right? You can see, and right now there's not a lot of women working, so they're out there just kind of chit-chatting, hanging out on the benches. All right, so the smithy is complete. I will go ahead and get one worker there. Again, it's only going to be men. And they can bring the stuff any way they want. Look at all the laborers grabbing materials. They're going to grab this iron here. They're going to dump it off to this smithy. And then he's going to start making nails. So eventually I'll have to make a town center and a warehouse as well. Right now I'm focused on getting this farm up and getting this food started. And as you can see, December is here and winter has arrived. So good for us. We were able to get all those people in their houses before this happened. And we're kind of ahead of schedule because this farm should be done before spring. And hopefully we'll have our all of our plots laid out and we'll be ready to plant once March comes around. Now, I'm playing this on fast mode, but I do want to kind of show off the development of this game. This is a worker, right? He's a builder, and he's taking all of this material and he's building it a piece at a time. And you can see these guys are bringing in these individual parts. And the game is really, really cool as far as how people go and grab materials and bring them. And then you have builders that are sitting here actually building this thing. So let's speed it up just a little bit. You can kind of see it go up. That's pretty cool. I mean, I like that aspect about it a lot. This game is real chill. You can just kind of sit here and relax and just kind of watch them build their little lives. It's pretty awesome. There you go. Look at that thing being built up. And almost done. Okay, so the farm is done, and I hit spacebar to pause the game because field layout is crucial to how this is going to work. So when you open up the farm, you have your workers and everything like that, hiring options, no men. I'm only letting women work on the farm. And that's because, well, they don't have very many jobs they can do, so I got to give them everyone they can. I'm going to hire a manager, and that's going to allow me to do crop rotation, and then I'm going to hire some female workers as well. And for now, I'm going to max this out and see what that does to my labor force. I may have to reduce that in early game. But then you have to lay out your fields. And there are so many ways to do this. This is the way that I have chosen through trial and error. Now, say what you will, but this is how I want to do it. So I'm going to, excuse me, I'm going to line up this first farm about the width of the farm itself and go back till it gets to 20. Okay, so that's my max output on that one single area, 20. And I'm going to try to repeat that every step of the way. And I just realized I did this backwards. Maybe it won't matter. See, that's 21, so a little too big. There you go, 20. And that's what I want to try to accomplish. I want to get 6 of these because we're going to do rotation. I'll explain that here in a minute as well. Okay, so you can see that I have my 6 fields here. So what I'm going to do is do a rotation. So when you open this up, first I've got to push play because I've got to get a manager to be able to do the rotation. So we'll see once the manager gets to work here. And again, I may have overtaxed my population. I've still got 3 women looking for jobs. Let's speed this up till we can get a manager in there. No manager. Oh, there she is. Okay. So now that I have a manager, you can see that I get this little plus sign here. So what I want to do is say, okay, the first 3 are going to be wheat. The second 3, actually, let's not fool around. Let's change it to potato. You see you have options here of what you can sow, and they'll have different things. So we're not going to screw around. I'm just going to start with potatoes, and then the other ones, they're going to go fallow. And what that means is they're not going to grow anything for that season. So I'm going to start with 3 farms. So then the next season, I'll do fallow on these, and I'll do potatoes on these. So that means every season, this one farm is going to produce 3 of these little fields of potatoes. And we're going to, hopefully that'll give us a good enough start, and then I can change it over to where it rotates between potatoes and wheat as well. But to start with, I just got to get these guys food because I'm going to need more workers and I need to bring people in. And in order to do that, I've got to have more food and more housing and more jobs. So that's kind of where we are right now. So I'll go ahead and speed this up. And again, we're still in wintertime. It's not even March yet. So at this point, we're kind of just waiting for spring. And since I've got some time here, I can go ahead and build a couple more things. Number 1 is the government building. This is your town hall. This is where you kind of control the economy of the place. And I want to put this in a location where I'm going to put my trade center. and that way I can kind of use that as a, I don't know, like just a center of town, if you will. And so my farms are going to be near this water as far as cows and chickens and things like that, and my fields are all going to be out in this area. So this is really the central location of the whole place, and I want to build it where you don't really want to build farms, and so that's kind of out here. And I'm curious to see, I really didn't want to put it out this far. Jesus. But I'm curious if that is iron, and if I'll get that iron whenever... I don't know if I want to do that or not, man. That's way the hell out there. You know what? I told myself I was not going to build on top of each other this time, so let's do it. Blammo. So we'll see if they have to grab this iron. So right now, let's see how much iron we have. We've got 492 there and 480. Well, I'll just do it like this. So I go up. We have 448 in storage. So it's not counting what's in here. Oh, that's cool. I just noticed that. Okay. So we'll see if that number goes up at all, and if it does, that means that they have to get rid of these rocks before they actually build. Oh, they don't have to. They would have already had to have gotten them. Just decoration. I was hoping that was iron. That would have been really, really nice, actually. So we need that, and we need a warehouse. The warehouse itself is going to be storing some pretty important things specifically like salt and iron and things like that. So if I'm going to have my cow farms and everything over in this area, I kind of want that warehouse over somewhere around here, I guess. So I'll go to the warehouse, and I'll build the warehouse like right in this area. It's kind of weird, I know, but I think, no, you know what? I'm going to keep it. This is kind of my town center as far as my manufacturing is concerned. So let's kind of put it over here. I know I'm building on top of each other a little bit, but... Oh, and you know what? What's the front of this damn building? Oh, it's right there. I had it right. Okay. So I'll put it as close as I can right there. Kind of makes it look like that building as well. So you see town hall's way over here. So obviously the town is going to try to go that way through all that weird terrain. And... but I'll have to have a lot of laborers working these farms as well, so we'll just have to wait and see. And when I build this, that little tent will disappear, and when I build that warehouse, this little warehouse will disappear, and we're good to go. And it looks like we've got some pretty good water there. I might build another well right here. There we go. And that way, we've got 2 places for water. I'm also going to go ahead and hire a worker for this. Right now, it's got some firewood in there. That way these people can start buying firewood. Obviously, it's cold. They're going to run out. And when we get these potatoes, they're going to be able to buy potatoes as well. Potatoes. Boil them, stew them, mash them, put them in a stew. Okay. So we'll let these other things build up really quick and see if we can't get to spring. All right. It's the end of February, and the snow is starting to melt. It's one of the cool aspects of this game, how good it looks. I mean, for the type of game it is, obviously. But it looks really cool to see all that snow melt away. And so now, you'll see these workers in the farm. They'll go out here and they'll start planting crops. And if I have any laborers available, they'll get out there and help them. And you'll see that down here at the bottom. So, I guess we had an early spring. Oh, God, I didn't activate the farms. Man, I am an idiot. Oh, that was close. So I'm going to activate all these farms. Jeez. All right, and you can see these people going out. I know they're flying around pretty fast. I mean, what they're doing, they're sowing the seeds in this area. And you can see they're all ladies. Their little dresses. Could you imagine having to work in a dress like that? Society has come a long way as far as rules are concerned. For the positive. So the reason that you need to do crop rotation is because of these right here, these nutrients. You can see that each crop type has a specific nutrient that it needs and how much of it actually needs. So you can see wheat requires a little bit of the red and a little bit of the green, where sunflower requires a lot of red. You want to rotate it with something that doesn't require a lot. So Potatoes still require quite a bit, but hemp doesn't. So you'd almost want to go hemp to wheat. But since I'm leaving it fallow, it really is the best because it doesn't require any nutrients at all. So you can see that I rotate potatoes and wheat and sunflower and hemp typically. But that gives you kind of an idea of what happens, because otherwise your yields go down drastically. It's always a struggle to in early game with the few people that you have to be able to maintain your laborers. I've always struggled with that. You can see I just built my warehouse, so now I can take iron and nails. So I'll go ahead and go to iron, and I'll store 50. You know what? If you hold down Shift, it'll go 10 at a time. So I'll do 50, and I'll do nails. I'm going to go ahead and just get 500 nails. And that way I'll just store them all in here, run out of iron. It's about the only thing you need it for. Whoops. And so we'll do that, and then I'll get a worker in there. Hiring options, since it can be a woman, I'm not going to allow them to hire a man. Looks like it did hire a woman there. And right now, I've still got 1 or 2 women looking for jobs. So that's good. And there are 4 vacancies for men. So we're doing okay. Even though the production has slowed down slightly because of the labor shortage. It's not too bad so far. All right, you can see my town hall being built back there in the background. This warehouse is going to disappear shortly, and I don't need this well here anymore either, so I'm going to go ahead and demolish that. You'll see it goes to looking for builders, so you got people coming out there finding a job to go take this thing apart. And you can see right now, working, labor, unemployed. That's a laborer, unemployed, construction. Yeah, so we're doing pretty good, actually. Better than I usually do. But, guys, that's about all the time I have for this first episode. I hope you enjoy it. Again, this is Ostriv. I'll leave a link in the description to the game. It's fairly cheap at this point, but it's really coming along. It's early alpha, so there's still some bugs, but it's a lot of fun to play, and I would suggest that you do so. Show some love to the creator. This is one person that's putting this game together, and I've dabbled in making games, and I do this, not this kind of thing, but I do some minor programming, and it can be a real hassle. So this person has done a great job on this game. So if you like the video, hit that like button, maybe subscribe, tell your friends, come back and see us again. I'll try to do a couple videos of this at least. Until next time, my name is JoeHova, and I'll catch you later. Goodbye.